Beauty and the Beast. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a merchant with his 3 daughters. The youngest, Belle, was known for her beauty and kindness. Her name, which means beauty in French, perfectly suited her, for she was not only beautiful on the outside, but also had a heart of gold. Her older sisters, however, were vain and selfish, constantly preoccupied with their appearances and material wealth. Belle loved reading books, and often escaped into their pages, dreaming of adventures and far-off places. Despite her simple life, she was content, finding joy in her father's company and the beauty of the natural world. The villagers admired Belle, but her sisters were jealous of the attention she received. One day, the merchant received news that one of his ships, which he thought lost, had returned to port with its valuable cargo. He prepared to leave for the city to retrieve his goods, and asked his daughters what they would like him to bring back. The older sisters demanded fine dresses and jewels, but Belle, being humble, asked only for a single rose. The merchant set off, but upon reaching the city, he discovered that the ship's cargo had been seized to pay off debts. Disheartened, he began his journey home, empty-handed and worried about how he would break the news to his daughters. As he traveled through a dense forest, a fierce storm erupted, and he lost his way. Cold, hungry, and exhausted, he stumbled upon a magnificent castle. The merchant entered the castle, calling out but receiving no reply. The castle seemed deserted, yet a fire burned warmly in the hearth, and a table was set with a sumptuous feast. He ate and drank, feeling grateful for the unexpected hospitality. As night fell, he found a comfortable bed and slept soundly. The next morning, the merchant awoke to find fresh clothes laid out for him and breakfast prepared. He decided to explore the castle grounds before leaving. In the garden, he found a beautiful rose bush. Remembering Belle's request, he picked a single rose. Suddenly, a fearsome beast appeared before him. The beast was tall and covered in fur, with sharp claws and fangs. "How dare you steal my rose?" the beast roared. "I welcomed you into my home, fed you, and provided you with shelter, yet you repay me by stealing from me." The merchant trembled with fear, and explained that the rose was for his daughter, Belle. The beast's anger did not abate, but seeing the merchant's genuine fear and sorrow, he made a proposal. "I will spare your life if you bring your daughter to live here in your place. She must come willingly, and you must never return." The merchant, heartbroken, agreed to the beast's terms. The beast gave him a week to say his goodbyes. The merchant returned home, his heart heavy with dread. When he arrived, his daughters eagerly awaited their gifts. He explained what had happened, and Belle, understanding the gravity of the situation, decided to go to the beast, willingly to save her father's life. Belle's sisters were secretly pleased to see her go, hoping they would now receive more attention. Belle, however, reassured her father that everything would be all right, and set off for the beast's castle. As she approached, the grand gates opened, and she was escorted inside by invisible hands. The beast greeted her and, despite his fearsome appearance, spoke gently. "You're welcome here, Belle. I hope you will be happy in my home. You are free to roam the castle and grounds, but there is one rule you must follow: you may never enter the West Wing." Belle agreed and tried to settle into her new life. The castle was enchanted, filled with magical objects that seemed to have a life of their own. The furniture and decorations moved and spoke, keeping her company and trying to make her feel at home. Days turned into weeks, and Belle's initial fear of the beast began to fade. She saw glimpses of kindness in him, despite his gruff exterior. They spent evenings together, talking and sharing stories. Belle read to the beast from her favorite books, and he listened with rapt attention. One evening, the Beast asked Belle about her family. She spoke lovingly of her father, and expressed her longing to see him again. The Beast, seeing her sadness, offered her a magical mirror. "This mirror will show you whatever you wish to see," he said. Belle looked into the mirror and saw her father, sick and struggling, overcome with worry. She begged the Beast to let her go to him. The Beast, though reluctant, agreed. "You may go, but you must promise to return in 1 week," he said. Belle thanked the Beast, and hurried home. Her father was overjoyed to see her, and she took care of him until he regained his strength. During her time at home, she spoke fondly of the Beast, surprising her father and sisters. As the week drew to a close, Belle's sisters, still jealous of her, devised a plan to keep her from returning to the Beast. They pretended to be kind and caring, convincing Belle to stay longer, hoping the Beast would become angry and harm her. When she finally returned, Belle, feeling guilty about leaving her father again, decided to stay a few extra days. But as the days passed, she began to worry about the Beast. One night, she looked into the magic mirror and saw the Beast lying in the garden, weak and dying. Filled with remorse, she immediately set off for the castle. When Belle arrived, she found the Beast in the garden, just as the mirror had shown. She rushed to his side, tears streaming down her face. "I'm so sorry," she cried. "Please don't die. I love you." At her words, a magical transformation began. The Beast's fur and claws disappeared, revealing a handsome prince. The enchantment that had cursed him was broken by Belle's declaration of love. The prince explained that he had been cursed by a wicked fairy, and only true love could break the spell. Belle and the prince returned to the castle, where the enchantment was lifted, and the castle and its inhabitants were restored to their original forms. The prince asked Belle to marry him, and she joyfully accepted. Belle's father was welcomed into the castle, and her sisters, seeing the happiness Belle had found, were filled with regret for their past behavior. Over time, they learned to be kinder and more considerate. Inspired by Belle's example, Belle and the prince ruled the kingdom with wisdom and compassion. They opened their home to those in need, and worked to ensure that everyone in their realm was treated with fairness and kindness. The love that had broken the curse continued to grow, spreading throughout the kingdom and making it a place of peace and happiness. And so, Belle and the prince lived happily ever after, their story becoming a legend that was passed down through the generations, a tale of beauty, love, and the power of seeing beyond appearances.